I'm going to talk about several things that I heard the other day that we as beginners are doing, and we don't know that we're doing it, and we shouldn't be doing it. So that's what the video is going to be about. First of all, you have to press publish. When I hear that people say, "Oh, press publish. You have to make a video. You have to make a video. You have to make a video." No, one of the things you really, really should be doing when you're starting YouTube is studying. That's the first thing. Now, I'm not a guru, but I'm going to say this because you got to study this. This is a business. You need to learn what you're doing first before you press publish. It's important to press publish to make the video, but do your homework first. Do some homework before you press the publish, okay? Do that first. Your titles. Your titles of your videos have to keep them simple. That's what I hear. I'm looking at all these different videos. I don't know, but I noticed that the ones that are doing the best are simple. They seem to be very simple, so I'm going to keep it that way. Because people, when they look, when they're scanning, they don't have time to read a whole line of this, that, and the other. Your thumbnail. You got to have a thumbnail. In the thumbnail, you should do what your thumbnail says. If you say you're going to, if you say that your video is going to be about green trees, well, God doggone it, make sure that your video is about green trees. Okay? Just don't lie to your following. Do what your video says. Your thumbnail says it's going to be. And keep it simple. Keep the thumbnail simple. By the way, I'm still learning this stuff. So I want you to know you're learning from a beginner here. Okay? The hook. That hook, man. This hook, the hooking of people, maybe we ought to name it for something else. We call it the beginning or the come on, or I don't know, the hook. The hook has to be right up front. If your hook is not right up front, they might not even look at the video. And that's sad though, because there's a lot of good videos out there people are not looking at because the hook is not good. You have to have nice lighting. The lighting, the best lighting that you can have is a window. From what I understand, I have a window. I don't have any lights. I have natural light. That's what I'm using. Now, maybe once I become more successful at YouTube, I might get some lamps and such as that. But for right now, the window. Make sure your lenses are clean. Your instruments are clean. Because if nobody can see you if your lens of your camera is messed up. So, if it's smudged or anything like that, you have to have it nice and clear. Make sure that you don't have the shakes. I have a trimmer, by the way, and I need a tripod. I always have to film with a tripod, because if I don't film with a tripod, a stable tripod, it'll shake all up like this. You see that? You don't want that. You don't want to have that. You want it to be stable like it is now. The eye contact. Now, this is very interesting to me. I'm not sure about the eye contact, because I'm still learning that. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to look up, down, that way, left, straight. But I know I'm not supposed to be into you like that. That's not good. Or like that. They said not to do that. So I'm not going to do that. They said to trim all the silence. Now, see, I just had a big silence there. I'm going to have to trim all that. That's right. The big gaps, trim it. No one wants to listen to your gaps or see your gaps in your film. You don't want to waste your following's time. So trim. Don't be afraid to trim your film. Edit, meaning you have to edit. Oh God, that's another one I know very little about, but I'm still learning on. And if you're going to be using some B-roll, and when I say B-roll, I'm speaking of your music background, make sure it's soft. Make sure it's soft. You don't want to have the B-roll all up front where you can hear the song over your voice. You don't want that. You want to make sure that your B-roll is soft. It's supposed to be background. Keep it in mind, background. According to this, we need to make sure that we have a project template file. I mean, I'm not sure about this, but I guess I'll check into it because I'm starting to make a lot of films now, so I need to make sure that I have that to stay organized. You know, I don't want to be able to, well, I don't want to get to the place where I can't find things when I'm looking for them. And I could see that possibility happening. Make sure your equipment has the batteries. The batteries are full. Now, if your batteries go out on you, you're not going to film anything on your phone, on your camera, regardless of what it is. So make sure that your batteries, you have taken care of your batteries and they're full of juice. Organize your projects. Now, that's one of the things that I'm slowly but surely doing now. I'm learning more and more about that, organizing my projects so that I can put my hands on, you know, say like if I wanted to use some music, I can go directly to my music. If I wanted to look at my raw footage, I could look at that. If I wanted to, you know, deal with some graphics, I can deal with that. You know, make sure that I have various things organized. When you upload your video, make sure that you upload it on private, period. Do that first. You do that to give YouTube a chance to go through your video to check it for all the things that they need to check. You know, at least give yourself 2 hours. I usually give myself a whole day, you know, just in case I want to change something in the film. But 2 hours at least. Do not just upload it unless, you know, you're time sensitive. You know, you have something that you have to have it up right away. I want to talk about the thumbnail again. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. If you put too much stuff on the thumbnail, people can't see what your face is. Simple means having a big face, having one object, and limited words. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't put so much stuff on the thumbnail. People can't see it. They just run right past it. And you might be able to put a pin comment. Now, I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to learn how to do it probably in the next week or so. Yeah, I'm going to learn how to pin a comment. You know, I will do that. I'll learn how to do that. So you might want to learn how to do that too. Anytime you get a comment, reply early. Do that. Just do it right away. You know, right after you upload, if your video starts doing, getting comments, reply as early as you can. Unfortunately, I'm guilty of not doing that because I couldn't find my comments. I couldn't find them. I guess you say, well, what in the world? Yes, I could not find my comments, but I know how to find them now. You go to the channel, then I can see them. It's weird. You know, they say, you have some individuals out here that are putting the work on various platforms. They're saying you should limit that at first, because if you put your work, your videos out on various platforms, you'll get burned out. if you're trying to start a business with YouTube, that's a long haul. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't need to have my work all over everywhere. I need to learn YouTube, and you need to learn YouTube. You need to learn how to do this before trying to put it out on everybody's platform. You know, get successful at one platform, then move on. As your channel starts growing, you can continue on. You repeat your success. Those videos that pop off, that jump, that's the way you should be guiding your energy towards the ones that are popping off, that are exploding. We as creators, we want to do it our way. Yes, we want to create our things that we want to create, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. And you know, our community doesn't want to hear that. I don't even know if my community is going to want to hear these things I'm talking about today. We'll see. They say to use end screens. Now, I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on using my end screens, because that will guide my community to the next film. I get it. I get it. But at first, I didn't have enough films to do that. So there you go. So that sort of brings me to the end of my discussion, because I learned a lot yesterday, but I'm going to have to reread all of this that I've learned. You know, a lot of mistakes were made. I'm thinking about trying to start all over again. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But I say this to you, creator to creator. Study first. Learn how to function on YouTube first. You know, YouTube is not a game. It's a business. You can have a grand time on it, yeah, you know, as you're learning, but take it serious. Because, you know, there are some people, yes, you can make money on it, but I can't say I've made any money because I haven't. You know, I'm going to make money. I mean, it takes some time to do that when you're building a business. So I say that, and on that note, I'm going to end this. I want to thank you for joining me today. This is Miss D. I'm totally off what I normally talk about. I know. But my next video will be on my packing. You know, I'm packing to go to Chicago. And by the way, that video will be coming out soon. And thank you. Thank you very much.